Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this podcast may find you. Happy Friday, everybody.
Thank goodness.
We're almost there, boys. We're almost at the weekend. Boys and girls, whatever you identify as. This is the Exhibition of Speed podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again for the whiskey. It's only taken us a couple weeks. We're almost through it. It looks like I'll be buying the next bottle.
I'll bring the condiments next time.
The condiments.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what do condiments entail?
I can bring the soda and ice cubes.
I was going to
okay,
say,
word.
he's just going to bring the ice cube.
They'll all be melted by the time you get here.
He's literally going to drop a soggy bag of ice cubes on the table.
I think it's called water.
That'll be the intro for next Monday or Tuesday, whatever we decide
It's
to
the
do.
poor sound recorder swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You hear us cutting out. That's why.
Exactly. But welcome, everybody. And, so if you enjoyed Wednesday's episode, you'll note that was mostly watch-related. So what we're going to do here in the future is kind of have a rotating schedule of side hobbies outside of cars that we typically enjoy, not car-related. For Justin, Jordan, and myself, we all enjoy watches to one extent or another. Jordan has somewhat of a collection. Next time he comes in, he'll bring his watch box, and he and I can compare boxes. And Justin will bring his collection of watches, and we can maybe we'll have a video component. We'll have a visual one. We'll throw that up on the old YouTubes.
Yeah.
But we are back to cars, and I have issued a challenge to the three of us. You have a garage, you have 4 slots to fill, and you have $200,000. What do you do? I will not go first. I don't know how much thought you guys will.
Not doing it. Not going first.
So by default vote, I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the circumstances for this, it is your current living situation. They don't all have to fit in your garage. There is external storage that you can use, but you are filling 4 slots, fulfilling all of the duties that entail your current lifestyle.
Okay.
I think I kind of am gonna take a random stab.
Yeah.
And
I actually want to hear your guesses first.
I don't know all of your guesses, but a Kia Stinger GT is gonna be in there.
Okay, you're correct about that.
Is it? You're saying Kia Stinger GT? Is that how you're gonna fill out your slot, or are you gonna go with $52,000 or $50,000 brand new one, to make it easy maths?
I'm just gonna make it brand new, just to make it easy maths.
Quick maths.
Quick maths. Yep, exactly. So, first one would be a Kia Stinger GT2, just like the one that I had. Red, yeah, probably actually. I kind of started to feel, although I originally wanted the ceramic gray one, which is effectively Nardo gray.
Right.
You
wanted and that came with red interior too.
Mm-hmm, that came with red interior. I honestly felt
did a Nardo red.
What?
I said, what if they did?
What does that even mean, man?
High thoughts with Jordan, even though he's not high.
I know. But what would that look like?
So,
what if they did Nardo red?
I don't know, man. I can't even think about it. Dude. Oh, no, my brain.
Jordan, I think you may need to eat
all
a
right,
little bit more
fuck
quickly.
me, right?
than-
Okay. Anyways.
No, it'd be a flat red. I get what you're meaning, kind of a...
No, it's fine. Fuck me. It's okay.
Okay. Sorry, I tried to humor your fuck you,
I
but
think that's up to your wife. That is not my duty.
not mine either.
Okay. Anyway.
So, I would probably have it... I mean, colors kind of regardless, because the color options don't raise or lower price at all, really.
Yeah, but what do you want?
It would be between 3 contenders. It would be the setup I had, which is red on black, the Nardo gray on red, or they do have, and this is where it's like, on this color, I would have to add a $5,000 more caveat for protection, but they have what's called Panthera Metal, which is a super gorgeous kind of almost black gray that's got a ton of fleck in it.
They have black too, don't they?
They do. They have
So they have the black and they have the almost black.
the almost black that has a lot of depth to the paint, similar to
I don't
like
think I've seen that.
you need like I'll try to find a picture that'll demonstrate it.
Okay,
But-
so it's mostly black, but it's technically a gray.
It's technically a gray, I believe.
Okay,
But it's a gorgeous deep dark color.
cool.
It's probably the most deep, like dark paint I've seen.
Okay,
Those would be the 3 contenders, and on that, on any of them, we'll just say 57,000 because I'd probably put full paint protection, like because that car would be the daily.
Yeah.
It would. So I'd put full paint protection, ceramic coat, like the whole 9 yards on it. Anything I can do to protect
all
the car.
the things.
Yes.
yes.
So that's the first 57,000. That would be the everyday usable car.
Okay.
Second one, you actually probably have another guess at it.
Is it something mid-engine and really goddamn sketchy?
For some reason,
Is it a Rossian Q1 perhaps?
possibly Jason's.
Jason's green Rossian Q1 after it's been dialed and sorted and fixed.
You know, I don't know why.
So
but
what would okay? So price.
I feel like he would still just own it and even put it on jack stands.
Justin wouldn't put it on jack
No.
stands. Justin would drive it.
Oh no, it'd be.
Justin is the kind of person that would actually enjoy that.
Well, I
car.
mean, it's current state.
Well, its current state, it doesn't
Have an
run.
engine.
It doesn't run.
That's what I'm saying. Jack
Yeah.
stands.
Oh well,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, either
Okay.
way. So I mean, it wouldn't be in its current state. It'd be in the final state, which I would. I mean,
Oh, right. We have money in
Of
this
course.
situation.
Right? Yes, we have actual
Exactly.
currency to play with.
That's right. Okay.
so
Never mind.
that's a hard one to pin down what the price would be because I'm not going to consider his little modifications he's doing because I don't know. We have
Well-
no clue.
We don't have a clue before things happened with the car. It was at around what 80.
65 to 80 is what he said they generally go for.
Okay.
I think he paid something like 70-ish for his. I have no clue, but I know it was in. It's
Would you add 70 plus 20? Just to round it out, kind of.
I would probably say it'd be around a $90,000 car.
Okay.
And that would obviously be. I wouldn't necessarily say track toy, but more weekend toy. That's the fun car.
That car on track would be fucking like at the limit.
At the limit, that car would be phenomenal. I mean, if it's one of those cars, if you can handle that, you know, in its day, Top Gear had the Stig run both of those and annihilate a 458.
It did.
Yeah. So I mean, at the limit, if you're a damn good driver,
Which you're not, and I'm not.
no
one
one
here
at this
is.
table is.
No.
not even close.
No
to
one
qualified.
that I know even know is.
Close to qualified to run that car at the limit.
No.
Not even close. But it would be phenomenal. So, anyways, that would be that, and I would that thing would definitely be on rallies and all.
That would be the rally car, not like a rally car, but that would be like the car you take on rallies. That's the car you go through Blast Canyons. That's
Yep.
the car you want to go just take an occasional run through Antelope.
Yeah, and really there wouldn't be any modifications to that thing.
Be like, yeah, I feel like doing 150 on Antelope today.
I'd probably say I know that Jason has some protection on it already, but I'd probably say in that 90,000 would also be some protection to it.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
include
that's
that in the 90.
Okay, so
yeah,
that was
yeah.
gonna be my question was, so we have this theoretical number to work with, but do we also later on also have the money to maintain these vehicles?
That's not included, and I would also argue that that the money that you want to put in when you talk about modifications, I would not constitute Clear Bra as a modification.
Okay, cool. So I mean, effectively we're 52 and we're 90. So we'll say we're at 140-ish.
Well, let's
Yeah.
quick maths, fast maths.
142.
140, 140 even.
Yeah. So the other two would be a little interesting. This is where it would get a little bit fun.
Right.
As much as I would love to have a beautifully done up long nose Peterbilt,
You have two cars and 60 grand to play with.
I know. As much as I would love to have a beautiful long nose Peterbilt because I have a love and affection with trucking that will never die.
And those are good looking trucks.
They're generally more expensive than that, and you know I could easily take up the 200 grand just purchasing that truck brand new, not even modified.
Yes.
Easy. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
not hard.
So, and it would be very limitedly useful. So that's out of the question, as much fun as that would be. The third one, and this one with the modifications would probably be in around the $25,000 range.
Okay.
So this would be ironically, considering the podcast from Tuesday, a 2003 Audi S6 like I had,
Oh, huh.
with one thing that I kind of had a crazy dream about with it, which was raising the car.
Right, because the car was aptly named Battle Wagon.
I have ironically, I still have this and I'm trying to sell it. I have a brush guard that I bought that just fit perfectly, like a full-size, not even brush guard, basically a push bar.
Gotcha.
For the front end. Raising it up about probably 4 to 6 inches, a pretty good height. Putting some decently knobby tires on there. 6-speed manual, swapping it. Keeping the V8. I'm not even going to add turbos or anything. The V8's going to stay the exact same way it was.
Well, a super linear power build. It made a nice noise, especially if you do exhaust work to it.
Very reliable. I don't need to worry about turbos or any of that crap.
Sure.
And other than that, the car is fairly stock, except for probably a rack on top. That's why I'm giving a $25,000 number, because it'll be about $7,000 to buy a good condition car, and then just go to town, lifting it and doing all the other stuff.
How lifted? Like Baja Rally?
Like 3-inch lift?
I'm thinking almost like to the ground clearance of my Tacoma stock.
Wow.
I love it.
Okay, so people
I
do
saw
this.
WRX recently that was that lifted, and it was fucking amazing.
So if you look at this, the same generation, which is the same car body-wise, the same generation Allroad, which first came out in the C5,
Yeah.
that had when you had the suspension all the way up at top click, was, I think it's like 7.5 inches of ground clearance, because it really pumps it up.
Yeah.
And so I'd be aiming for that, or maybe even like an inch more, which again is not far off of what my Tacoma has stock.
Yeah.
So that's where I'd want to be at, like, just really crazy off-road build. This is kind of fun, but in the off-road sense, in a car way.
Yeah, but you could also, if you wanted to, drive it on the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you really want to hurt some feelings.
I know, right? It's one of those things that I would just love to do, and it would be clean. It wouldn't be ratted out.
Like, come and swap a Tesla.
I know.
Oh my god.
I love those.
Or Tesla swap a fucking Ram.
I know, right?
Oh, even better.
That would
That would hurt more.
That would
feelings,
way
actually.
more feelings.
Yeah.
yes. Somebody with fuck you money, please do this.
Oh,
Yes, please.
Either one.
I know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then finally would be kind of a more usable sense. I would probably have a very well-built and maintained, somehow imported Toyota Hilux diesel.
Yes.
For the hauling, general everyday.
Would it be like the Polar spec? Would it be like the huge tires and
Kind of
like on Top Gear?
a little bit south of that, not quite as huge tires,
Okay.
but definitely capable. And airbags on the rear so that I could actually tow with it.
Because those had central air, didn't they?
Mhm.
Like central air.
tire inflation.
Yeah.
And they actually had to move the front axle forward to fit those.
Wow. No way.
So I would still want to keep it like stock enough to where I didn't have to do that extensive modifications, because that's expensive.
That's insane. Yeah.
Um,
Those are $100,000 trucks.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like with me, I would basically buy a stock one, like a 4-inch lift, probably 36s or something like that, and then have just,
Wait, hold on. So just keeping track of numbers here. So you were at about 140 before the S6.
25 in there. So I have 35 left to play with for this.
So you could in theory import.
That would be the
like years, unrestricted, right? If you didn't have to worry about years to import, would that be a $35,000 truck?
I think it would be probably imported. I bet you they'll be down in the 5,000 to 10,000 range to purchase. Probably about 7 to import it,
And then spend the rest on mods? Okay.
yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
The rest would be 4-inch lift, 36-inch tires, some airbags on the rear to tow, so it can actually tow. Because as long as you can balance weight, you can pretty much tow whatever.
Sure.
And then just a few small touches, but that would be the usable, sensible vehicle that could do whatever hauling or anything that I need to do with it.
Yeah.
So that would be it. So just the quick recap: Stinger GT is the daily, Rossi and Q1 is the track-weekend toy, Audi S6 is the fuck you, I'm going to off-road anyway toy, and the Toyota Hilux diesel.
Very cool.
Oh boy.
You don't have to go next door.
No, I know. I'm laughing. The reason I'm actually laughing is because in the whole lineup, you're like, my Rostion Q1 is my track trash fuck you toy. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty savage.
Yeah.
That's pretty savage.
That car is a monster, and I think that's why it attracts me so much. It's just there
Which is funny because you've also
Ruthless.
driven the quintessential rear-engined, sport, or what some would argue the quintessential sports car, which is a GT3.
Yeah.
You've driven a couple different variations of
Oh,
those,
and it was-
as have I.
and it was fantastic.
And you were within like a stone's throw of saying like, oh, this is almost better.
Almost, but
They're so pure.
But there's something about the allure of just a no thrills, no fucks, no traction.
Something that will kill you.
Yes.
Yes.
There's more adrenaline.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't it Hemingway that said we feel most alive when we're closest to death?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
So, yeah.
Sit back, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, like, that's a pretty great way to spend $200,000.
I feel like it's pretty sensible and covers all bases. Really.
It covers a lot of bases, for sure.
Yeah. I don't feel like my list is anywhere near as exotic as
Here,
yours.
I'll go, and I'll give you some more time.
Well, I feel like I have my list. I mean, you can go ahead and go, but
But keep in mind, your list doesn't have to be exotic, though.
no, I know. I'm just saying,
Are you gonna go all country boy on us?
there's a couple in there.
Here, I'll let you go, Jordan.
Okay. All right. Well, then, if we're gonna talk about the country boy part of it, we'll
There
start
we
off
go.
with the two things.
Ding a ding 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 ding.
Okay. I don't have 4 fucking arms. Anyways, first thing is I would love to own an old K20 square body Chevy again, which for those who don't know what that is, that's a single cab, 3/4 ton long bed Chevy, 1986, or somewhere in that year range, the old square bodies. And I would have it set up pretty much the same way I used to with the 383 stroker, 700 R4, just because it has the ability of overdrive. Or I could put a 4-speed in it. I don't know. Either way. And then I'd probably put it on at least a 6-inch lift on 35 to 37, somewhere in there. Probably 37s.
Because why not?
Well, that, and also too with that year range, the wheel wells were a lot wider, so you can accommodate a lot larger tire for
Gotcha.
a lot less lift. Whereas like a newer style body styles, their wheel wells are a lot deeper, like in
taller?
height, taller, yeah, but a lot narrower. So you have to lift it like a ton in order to even get like a decent sized tire on it, which I just think looks goofy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, okay, so with all of that, you're probably looking at, I don't know, more than 20 grand at most if I were to like do it brand new, everything like from the bottom up, like crate engine, crate transmission, all that.
That's the lovely thing with Chevys is they're a bunch of cheap Legos.
Yeah, really,
For
honestly,
sure.
absolutely.
So how much is this putting you out?
He just said about 20.
You said 20? Okay.
Yeah, probably about 20 grand.
Okay, cool.
So still 180 left, ladies and gentlemen.
You have 4 cars, 180.
Now three for 180.
Three now.
Oh, we're doing 4 cars. 4 cars. For some reason, I thought it was 5. Okay.
It was 5, and then
Changed it.
before you recorded, I said, fuck it, 4.
All right. Well, that's great. That's great. That makes this even easier for me.
Great.
Nice.
Awesome.
I would definitely VRT swap a B5 Audi.
Okay, so
Okay.
for those that don't know, B5 Audi A4 with a VR6 and 2 turbos? Or 1?
Fuck it, why not? We'll put 2 in there.
Okay.
Inline, anti-lag.
Whole 9 yards,
Yeah.
everything.
So is that, like, what, around 30 at that point?
Probably 30 to 40, somewhere
To
in
do
there.
it right.
Yeah,
To do it right, let's call
absolutely.
it 40.
yeah, 40
Okay.
grand. That's fair. 40 grand. So we're at like what, 60 grand?
Yeah.
How much power is that going to be making with the 2 turbos?
With the Jesus, with the 2 turbos.
I mean, I know people have pushed him past 1,000.
Yeah, I was like, because like people with a single turbo on those VR6 engines are pushing, like when they build them right, and they're like not
7,
even pushing max turbo, like max boost.
Yeah.
They're just like mid-range boost. They're pushing like 6 to 700 horsepower.
That's fair.
potent.
That's
Yeah.
adequate. It'll get you over the
fuck.
hill.
The Wookiee is moving pretty fast.
Yeah. It's one of the. It's kind of like refers back to our conversation about putting that leader bike engine in the fucking shifter cart.
Yeah, for sure.
Would not be able to keep that thing in a straight line. At least this one would have all-wheel drive.
Yes, that would make a huge ass difference.
And-
But at this point, it would still be spinning all fours.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Truth.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rowdy.
Next, I would own a.
So you still have 140,000.
Yeah. Well, this is about to blow it.
Okay, there you go.
Just gonna buy a GT3. Just fuck
No, I was going to say a RS7.
it. Okay. So you can get those for 70 or so. Used.
Are
Right.
you looking for used?
Are you
or
looking
new?
for new or
'Cause-
used?
In this case, since I have one more car to fill, probably used.
Okay.
Okay.
But are we thinking probably like 3 years old certified pre-owned? Because at that point,
Yeah.
you're still like 80, 90.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
You could. I mean, you could also, in theory, buy them new for like 110,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
depending on trim.
yeah, depends on a lot of things because I went to the Audi dealership recently to just pick up a part for like a new door hinge for my car.
Okay.
And they had a Nardo Gray one in there.
Okay.
And it had like 3,500, not even 3,500 miles on it. And it had literally every box you could possibly check on this thing.
Okay.
135 grand.
Somebody smoked crack that day a little bit.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you could just drive one of those for the rest of your life, and it'd just be.
It's
It'd be great.
again, it's
be great.
like a couple tiers up from the same reason why I love the Stinger. You know, just a couple like grades of car up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's basically, I mean, it's just a faster Stinger with 4 rings.
Well, I mean,
honestly.
Stinger's just a slower RS7. Reality, it came out after.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a couple leagues of faster though.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my boss has one, and that thing is just ruthless.
Is he the same one
Oh,
that
yeah.
has
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ferrari?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then,
So let's stipulate price real
Yeah.
quick. So we'll say 110 just to be safe.
okay.
Or 100?
Actually, yeah, we'll go with 100.
100 is easy math.
So 40,000 left.
40,000 left.
Yep.
Perfect.
What do you do with 40 G's?
40 G's. I would make it practical now and actually just get like a regular Duramax that I could actually tow things with.
Oh, nice.
On like normal trips.
Yeah.
Like, cause I mean, with the other truck, yeah, you could probably tow things with,
I was
but like
about
towing
to
a
mention
fifth
that.
wheel.
A K20,
like,
not really on a
yeah.
fifth wheel.
No, probably not. No, definitely not fifth wheel. But
Oh.
but yeah, like
Even
to
like
make
a
it
car hauler wouldn't be very happy with that.
no, and you would just be fucking pissed at how much gas you had to buy.
Yeah.
Like, so that's definitely in the lineup for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, you could, it's not that hard to get a 3-4-year-old one for about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And then, so then it's still new enough. You don't have to worry about stuff, but, it's not brand new because those are 70, 80.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, so this is my challenge. So you would think that I would have the best answers, but Justin had a pretty fucking decent lineup. I'll give you that. Okay, so first of all, daily driver status. I subscribe to more of the notion of sporty over boatiness. But I still want, 4 doors and something comfortable. But also, I would kind of like something exotic sounding and something that has a solid performance.
Okay.
For 50 grand,
Okay.
Audi RS3.
Yeah.
Get some virtual cockpit action. Got the 5-cylinder turbo.
Yeah.
It's got a great launch to it. Shifts great. Comfortable interior. Still on the sportier side. If I decided to go mob a canyon after work or something, that's not something completely out of the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So-
150 left.
Yeah. So what can you get a Raptor for?
You mean that's all
Like a
over
second
the
gen
board.
Raptor.
Okay, second gen Raptor.
Broken down or
No.
okay.
You're probably still looking for-
70?
No, you can
70. No,
Oh,
you
no,
can get
you-
them cheaper than that.
40.
Like one of the EcoBoost ones?
Yeah, probably like one of the very first run ones. You could probably touch 50.
Yeah.
If I could keep that at 50, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, you can Yeah, because to give you an example, the very first Raptors from the old gen, I mean,
Yeah, like the
they're
old
down
6.2s.
they're down in the mid 15,000 range now.
Sure, and I don't care about that. I want a newer Raptor
Yep.
that I can go mob off-roading with. I can tow one of my other cars that I'm about to mention. Something like that.
Towing
And-
would be fun with that, but it would do it. It's just Raptors are not good tow vehicles.
right.
But
But it's a tow vehicle / fun adventure vehicle.
yeah, exactly.
So this brings me to my Canyon Carver.
Okay, so we've done $100,000, ladies and gentlemen. 100 left.
Yes. Canyon Carver, I would get a first generation Cayman.
Interesting.
Yes, a Cayman S that can be had at around 30 grand. Okay?
Wow, so we still got a good margin left.
Yeah, a good 70 grand to go.
So now the real curiosity is it another P car?
The answer is yes.
I figured.
So 997.
I was going to say, you can't go without a 911, and I knew that.
997.1. If I can find it in a manual, I will. Turbo. 997 turbo. 500 horsepower, all-wheel drive.
Now we're talking.
Yes, exactly. You could buy them in a manual still at that point. They hadn't gone all PDK yet.
Yep.
997.2 is the end of the manual
But
911.
PDK is no slouch.
PDK is
No.
great. If you've been in a 911 turbo with the manual, it is something else.
Which I have not.
As just as an experience thing.
It's a choice of experience over performance.
Exactly. That would, and the reason why I put the Cayman as a track car is because that seems to be more of a platform that lends itself to track driving.
Yeah.
There's room to grow in that regard because it's naturally aspirated. You can wring more out of it as a driver.
Right.
And the 911 Turbo would be more of a Canyon Carver, weekend warrior up in the canyon / date night car. That would be a really great date night car. Just go out and just enjoy yourself on the weekend. Like low stress, but still, if you want to throw the hammer down, it's very easy to.
So I'm curious. So with that choice of 4, there's probably a tiny bit of wiggle room between any of them, really. Would there be any modifications to any of them? Because you probably
No.
still... Okay, so
No.
probably just stock the way they are.
I don't see a need to...
Maybe upgrade the Raptor a bit.
I would say...
As far as
what would
be
I
able
do to
to
the Raptor, though, to make it more
increase
of what
suspension and stuff like that, and maybe add a tow package.
So effectively...
Well,
to
yeah, so what would
increase
the tow
payload a little
package
bit.
do?
Really, all you would need to do is do the exact same thing I mentioned to that to the Toyota, which is put a set of airbags on the back, because the Raptor is
true.
designed...
So what would that run?
$1,500. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You have a little bit of
Negligible.
margin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
$25,000. No big deal. No.
Exactly. I'm just curious what little things you would do to make them the exact way you wanted.
The Cayman would...
Especially color and everything, because I don't think you really mentioned.
I don't care about color.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Paquette is not racist. It's amazing.
I kind of don't give a shit. I mean, the blue
They're
on the
all
RS3.
bright pink.
Oh boy.
Now Gavin cares about color.
The blue, the blue on the RS3 is actually very beautiful.
Yes.
That would be lovely. The way I envision these cars is blue on the RS3, kind of that, honestly, that primer gray on the Raptor would be badass.
Oh, yeah.
The 911 Turbo would be black,
Oh.
and the Cayman would be red.
Wasn't seeing the black 911 coming.
Me
What,
neither.
what did you see? Like silver or like?
I don't really know. I mean, just they're black 911s aren't that common.
They're not super common.
I think that's really the only reason I thought that is just because they're not common.
Yeah. No, a black 911 turbo, ideally manual. I drove a 997.1 that was Tiptronic, and
Tiptronic is
it was fast while you're in the gear.
until you have to shift.
Yeah, no, I would equate
Then
the
you have to wait a few years.
I would equate the shift speed in the Tiptronic to this comparable shift speed to the sport shift in my Outback.
Yeah.
It's very of the era. It was very much a mid 2000s. If I can get a 0.2 in a manual, or if I could get a 0.1 in a manual, that'd be fantastic.
Well,
I know they're around 70 to 80 though. I know they're definitely in that area.
well, and the ironic thing is that Tiptronic that would be in that car is literally the transmission in my Audi,
Yeah.
just without the rear shaft going out. It's the same automatic.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, the rear shaft isn't going backwards; it's going
Forwards.
forwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's the VAG Auto Group doing what they do and sharing things.
And honestly, it's not a bad thing.
It's
I've never
not.
thought of that as a bad thing. As far as modification goes, though, I would probably on the Cayman do braided stainless steel lines and upgraded pads.
Good
on
choice.
the
Yeah,
brakes.
that would look good.
And that would be about $1,000, you know.
That'd be about $1,000. I would have to honestly see what the suspension would be like on track.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't touch that though. I'd just probably put all my money in brakes and tires.
What year?
The first gen was 06 to 08 or
Okay.
so, or 09.
Well, you might want some suspension if you're gonna track it.
Okay.
No, like I said, that's why I'm saying you
Yeah.
probably, between all those, you probably still have about $5,000 of wiggle room between the prices on them.
more or less.
Right.
More or less, depending on how old I would want to go on something versus
Yeah.
another.
Exactly.
RS3 would be brand new. Everything else is used.
Gotcha.
Because I want the thing I'm putting the most amount of miles on, I kind of want to start with the the most amount of a blank slate as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you.
But-
Okay.
but
I,
yeah.
I approve of you. Ironically, I didn't have a Saab or an Audi 5-cylinder in mind, which is kind of ironic. and
Because
you-
I chose the 5-cylinder.
I know.
Well, I also just drove an RS3 recently, and it was fucking splendid.
Yeah.
It was great. I would totally drive that every day.
Yeah, those are great cars.
Yeah.
No, they.
I would
really
maybe try to find some smaller wheels actually to put on that and get some more tire on it.
are. Is this flashbacks from Ford Focus?
No, because it's flashbacks from driving the RS3 through Lehigh.
What size
On
tires were
I-15.
on it?
I want to say they were 19s.
Yeah, I would at least go down to 18.
I would try to
Oh, yeah.
try 18s. Similar thing with
On
the
cars,
Focus, though.
I don't care for anything larger than 18.
No, there's no reason for it.
I mean, your RS7 from factory has 20s or 21s.
Right,
20.
but I mean,
it
but
fits
I mean
on
in
that
this
car.
in this
Yeah,
atmosphere.
it fits on that car. It works.
Yeah.
On this atmosphere, it's very different.
It's
Yeah,
vastly different. Yeah.
yeah, you'd be running like a fucking centimeter sidewall if you're running them on the RS3 at like RS7 Mach or like spec tires.
That would be
or
funny though,
wheels.
because they're all the same bolt pattern. If you just do
Oh, yeah.
RS7 wheels on the RS3.
Oh, somebody's done it. I mean, people
sure
do
they
that
have.
in the mid-century Audi community all the time. Is they'll go get Bentley wheels of the same era.
I've seen
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm on.
I've also seen people throw early 2000s Mercedes wheels on Jettas.
Oh yeah,
You know what really pisses me off?
it really grinds your gears.
That's what I was gonna say, but all right.
Go ahead.
When people take these VWs, whether it be a GTI, R32, TDI, whatever, and they put older Porsche wheels on it.
I can't say I've actually seen that.
I
Older
fucking-
Porsche wheels?
Yeah, well, he's
Yeah.
saying nine. It's effectively 9960 era.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
Well, basically, I just dislike it when people put other make wheels on
Mismatched
other
makes,
cars.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not a Mercedes, that's an Audi. Or no, that's not a Mercedes, that's a Volkswagen. Like,
Yeah.
at least swap the badge.
Okay, so what do you think about
yeah.
putting?
Like, come on.
So my buddy Steve has a Mark 7 Jetta Sport Wagon that has TTRS wheels on it.
Does it still have the Audi badge on it, though?
Yes.
Shame on him.
Interesting. Because I would totally, if I wouldn't be stealing his look, I would totally do that.
See, and I can kind of agree where you're coming from. If you're going to do that, just replace your center caps because it's not hard.
Yeah, seriously.
Just put Volkswagen center caps on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fair.
Or even
90% of the people are none the wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But
And, like, to me,
yeah.
I'm like, at least you went through the effort.
Yeah,
True. No, I mean that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I don't care about necessarily swapping them around. I just care when you're wearing Porsche wheels on your Jetta.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That have a Porsche crest in the
Yes,
middle.
this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Gotcha. Okay, yes, 100% agree.
Here, I'm now pulling up photos of this TTRS wheels on a. They are Audi. Yep. Look at that.
Show me the full car.
I'm glad that Psy came through it really well.
Here. How about that? How about that for a photo?
Yeah, I mean the wheels. Okay, like this
The
is what I'm
wheels look
getting at.
rad.
This is
It's
what I'm
so
getting
for
at.
the-
The,
for-
the
so-
wheels look amazing, and the car itself, as a whole, is an awesome looking
So
car.
for those that are listening, imagine a Jetta Sport Wagon that has a wrap of a Miami blue with TTRS wheels, but it's on bags, so it's on the ground.
Yeah,
And yes, it is bags. He's not static. He's not a fucking dumbass.
good.
Good.
Yeah. Here's another one.
Yeah, see, okay,
look
yeah, I've seen
fantastic.
pictures of
Rad.
that, and I really like it. But I don't like how he has the Audi badges on the center
That's
caps.
totally understandable.
Yeah.
The rest of the build and everything,
Also
Awesome.
RS3.
yeah,
Just saying. The car's
Yeah, the
fast
rest
as
of it,
balls of
awesome.
fucking Alpine Loop. Yeah. See, yeah, I get that blue. I get that shade of blue.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what the name of that blue is, perhaps? So it's like a topaz or something.
I can't remember if that's Nagaro blue or not.
Nagaro blue is
Nagaro
definitely
is
a
like
flat.
dark blue.
Yeah, dark and flat
Yeah,
blue.
Nagaro blue is the older color from the B5 D2 era.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
navy damn near, like darker.
It
than
is.
that. It's darker than that.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a great. Actually, growing up, when I was in elementary
that was the
school,
color of my last B5.
Oh, really?
That was the color of my B5.
That's a gorgeous color.
Yeah, that was the color of my B5.
When I was in middle school, or not middle school, when I was in elementary school, one of my friends, they would get picked up in their dad's B5 S4 of that, and that was Nagaro blue.
Yeah, that's a good color.
I wonder if that car's still around. Honestly, I'd love to figure that out. I'd love to find that out. That'd be cool. But yeah, so those are our selections. It's a surprise to nobody that I have at least one Porsche, if not two. I got a truck in there, and I got a good daily in there.
See, and I know there was two that weren't a surprise to you.
Well, yeah, the Rossi on your Stinger.
Yep.
And I would have thought about the Stinger, and I would have gone Stinger had I not wanted something more sporty in it.
A little smaller.
Honestly, if the 5-cylinder wasn't in the RS3, I probably wouldn't have gone for it.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, no, and in reality, that kind of more equates to our types. Like, you like smaller, more compact, and sportier.
And honestly, if I had another 30 grand to spend, I would have, and another car, I would have thrown Lotus Elise in there
Yeah. See.
all day long.
Oh, yeah. No, and if I had another car, actually, this is another good thing real quick. I'll just say this real quick. We'll just kind of go around. If you had the one more car, because I know you did have another one.
Yes.
If I had one more car, it would probably be a first gen Saab 99 Turbo. So the precursor to the car.
The 99s are dope.
Yeah, so the precursor to the car that I currently own.
There's a silver one I've seen in Sugar House a number of times.
Because they're beautiful.
Oh my god.
Because it was the whole reason 99 went to 900 really was all regulation for the front end. They extended the front end about a foot for crash regulations. It got the big bumpers, all this shit. Same shit that happened over all that era.
Before I met you, I had like 2 or 3 days of craving a 99 Turbo or 999 Saab.
No, because they're just beautiful and elegant. They
Yeah.
really are.
Oh yeah, those were 70s, right?
They
Yeah.
were mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
79 is when the
So now I have to buy one because I have the Bulova driving watch from 1976.
Oh, yeah, you got to find a 1976 99 Turbo.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, Jordan.
Yeah.
So, what was your fifth car, or even if it's not that, what was if you had one more choice?
For one more car, could be whatever you want, I guess at this point, right?
Yeah, that's
I guess I
basically
have-
what it
I
is.
spent 30 grand on my extra car. You spent what?
It's probably going to
10?
be it'll probably be about
20?
20 to 30, depending on how
Okay.
nice it is.
Well, I have a couple things, I guess. It would be if I had that little extra money.
But it has to fulfill one car. One more car.
Just one more car. If you had one more car on top of the 40 that you chose.
Right, then it would probably be like an 80 series Audi Quattro.
Nice.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely that. For sure.
Still ironic that I still didn't go with the 5-cylinder
I
Audi.
know,
despite
and
the
the
fact,
other was
despite the
did.
fact that I've owned. Actually, you both now have 5-cylinders at this point.
Yeah, in our lineup. in
Oh,
our
Yes,
made up
with the-
lineup.
with
Yes.
the made up.
Yep. Okay.
fifth
Yeah. I thought you meant
Yeah.
currently. I was like, no, definitely
No,
not.
no. Mm-mm.
Ironically, yeah. I mean,
I was like,
me,
if that's the case, I've totally.
So
mis-
you've been there, done that at this point.
I've owned 2 of them, and I love them to death. But for some reason, that just didn't come up. I don't know. If it was a 6th spot, it would. I think.
Yeah.
But that's a different story.
That's for another podcast.
Yeah. So.
This one will kind of blow your minds though, real quick. If I had a little extra money though, I would get rid of the Duramax,
What?
and I would get a mega cab and do a long bed swap.
So you'd get a Dodge
A Dodge Cummins mega cab and long bed swap it.
with an 8-foot bed.
Yes, absolutely.
Damn.
It's a big ass truck.
That's a bit,
Fuck yeah, it is.
yeah.
There's actually a place here down in Lehigh that does that.
No way they do the swap.
Yeah, they do frame extensions and everything. They'll fucking do it.
Wow. Very cool.
Wow.
Well, maybe it's the whiskey in me, but I will acknowledge that this podcast has run a little long, so I think this is a good place to end this one.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Those were good rants, though.
I think good rants and good choices all around.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Good one, boys. Well, we will tune into you all next week. Until then, you should just go like and subscribe to our channel because, do one for the homies, and you can, and then you can see what kind of work we're actually putting out into the world. Upcoming is a Focus RS. That's a bit loud, and you will hear more from Justin and myself about that. And we have a review coming your way. And Justin and I are actually going to watch that review tonight and make some cuts and stuff. But
And maybe if you're lucky, next week on the podcast, I'll tell you about my whole track experience this upcoming week on UMC.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please do.
I would love to pick your brain on that, actually. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, until next time, whether it be Monday or Tuesday, we need to get a schedule sorted down. But until next time, I've been Gavin.
I've been Justin.
And I've been Jordan.
And this has been the Exhibition of Speed podcast. Go check us on Facebook, Instagram, Exhibition of Speed, and Exhibition of Speed Show. We are on YouTube. And, go show us some love there. Go check us out. But, until next time, we will see you later. Bye-bye.